What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam, and this is How to Get More Clients with Your Podcast, sponsored by our friends at Cap Show, the one-stop shop for podcasters and content creators for their AI generation tools. Cap Show makes my life so much easier as a content creator, as a podcaster, and you should definitely check them out. All right, today we've got a great topic. But first, in case this is the first episode that you have seen of this show, I'll tell you a little bit about myself here. My name is Adam Schaeuble. I've been podcasting since 2015. I've got over 1,000 episodes total as an audio podcaster, over 1 million downloads, and my show is called Podcasting Business School. Check it out wherever you enjoy your podcast audio. Today, we're diving into how to use what I refer to as a content campaign cycle to get more clients with your podcast. That's what this show is all about, how to get clients with your podcast. And this is one of the most effective strategies because podcasters tend to kind of suck at selling directly from their show. You've got a program, you've got a service, you've got a digital product, and you want to sell that to your listeners. This is not a skill set that a lot of podcasters have. This is not something that podcasters do effectively and efficiently, but this content campaign cycle strategy will help you kind of narrow that gap and start selling more directly from your show to your audience. I've got 6 steps we're going to dive into, so let's dive on in. Step number 1, the first thing we got to do is choose one offer to focus on with this content campaign cycle, just one. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use one of my offers called the Download Growth Club. All right, that will be the example I use in a couple of these steps. Now, step number 2, I want you to identify a 3-week content block on your content creation calendar. We're going to spend 3 weeks putting out appetizers for the offer that you want to directly sell to your audience. All right. 3 weeks is a sweet spot. Maybe you could try 2, you could try 4, 5. I've gone as long as 6 weeks. 3 weeks seems to be more often than not the amount of time that works the best, and it's kind of efficient for your content creation schedule. So with that one, we are only going to be focusing on promoting your target offer. That's a very important concept to understand. So step number 3, we're going to create 3 podcast episodes for this 3-week block of content. We're going to have weekly content, and all of the episode topics must be an appetizer to your offer. This is really important. And pro tip, these should not be interviews. We are in expert positioning mode during this 3-week block. Do not make someone else the expert. You need to be the expert. So I highly recommend solo episodes on the appetizer topics. So an example, if I was going to focus on my Download Growth Club offer, it might look like this. Week number 1, SEO strategies for podcast growth. That's a common pain point. It's an appetizer to the offer. Week number 2, how to be a guest on more podcasts. Again, people have questions about that all the time. That's an appetizer to my offer. And then week number 3, the real reason why your podcast isn't growing. With the last week of any promotion, I like to have what I call a mistakes-based topic because that tends to really reel people in and they pay close attention. Tips and things like that are great, but people assume, oh, I can go on YouTube anytime and get some tips. But if you're talking about mistakes or errors, that flips the concept in someone's mind. They go, oh, I might be making these. I better check this out. So that's a little bit of a pro tip. In the final week of the campaign, make it more of a mistakes-based episode with a negative slant on the title. That usually works really, really well. Okay, those are the first 3 steps. And we're at the halftime show of this episode. I've got to shout out one of my favorite features inside of Cap Show, their LinkedIn newsletters. We all love creating our LinkedIn newsletter, and Cap Show makes it super easy. All I have to do is upload my audio content from my latest episode of Podcasting Business School into Cap Show, and it magically generates a perfect LinkedIn newsletter. I can copy, I can paste it, bam. I got LinkedIn engagement with that LinkedIn newsletter via Cap Show. All right, let's dive into the steps number 4, 5, and 6, the back half of the 6 steps here. Step number 4, for creating a content campaign cycle. For each episode, we have to use a single CTA. I've talked about this in a previous episode of this show. Single CTA is very important. The CTA is a call to action. What we are basically, it's what we're asking our audience to do. All right. And we're going to use a single call to action, a single CTA to promote our target offer. Now, we're going to mention this in 3 places. In the intro, as you roll into the episode, this can be a canned intro, a pre-recorded intro, or something you kind of do in the moment as you start diving into the episode. You're going to have a call to action to your offer. All right. Then during the episode, I like a casual call to action. Remember, we're talking about topics that are appetizers to your offer. So if I'm doing the episode about why, let's see, the SEO episode. So the first one that I mentioned, let's show you the example. So this first one, let's say we're in week 1, SEO strategies for podcast growth. And I'm in the middle of that episode talking about SEO strategies. And I'd be like, hey, and by the way, this is a topic we do hot seats on every single month inside of the Download Growth Club. If you really struggle with this concept, make sure you hit the link in the show notes and check out the Download Growth Club. So that's a casual call to action in the middle of an episode. You find a reason to bring it up and just kind of casually name drop it. Then in the outro, that's the third mention that we're going to have for this specific singular call to action. And again, that can be as you sign off, mention again, hey, don't forget to check out the link in the show notes, blah, blah, blah. Or you could have something canned and pre-recorded that you have kind of pasted at the end of the episode, like a lot of people do. All right, so 3 positions, 1 CTA, very important. Step number 5, I want you to include in each of these 3 episodes an audio testimonial. And it's not just any testimonial, a testimonial from a client that's completed your target program. So for me, I'm putting a Download Growth Club member testimonial on each of these 3 episodes. I like to put this in the intro of the episodes because if you stick it in the outro or even as a mid-roll, people tend to skip those for sure. In the intro, we have the best shot of somebody listening to that audio. I actually like to put it as the very first thing somebody hears with an episode. So they don't hear the song and dance. They don't hear anything like a canned intro, like a generic intro to the show. The first noise they hear on that Podcasting Business School episode will be a real life human voice that is not mine bragging about getting results from my target program. All right. So the outlook here, you can see at the bottom of this slide, we focus on the testimonial first. Then we've got the intro call to action. Then we've got the episode content, which hopefully has that kind of casual call to action. And then we've got the outro call to action. So the first thing we hear, somebody that got results from a program. That is our target CTA. Then immediately after that, target CTA about that program. And the episode content that is related, that's the appetizer to our target offer, our target CTA. Then in the outro, we've got another target CTA. All right. All focused on this one offer. This is powerful. And they're getting this 3 weeks in a row. Lots of reps. And this starts to kind of saturate their mind with this pain point, with your solutions, with your expert positioning, with these testimonials. And this offer is top of mind and they are more primed to buy. All right. Now let's talk about optimizing the content campaign a little bit. A couple key steps. Number 1, if you can also focus on this singular target CTA on social media and your newsletter or email marketing, it'll really help. So if you have a weekly newsletter like I do every single Thursday, check it out. Focusing that CTA and that topic again on your newsletter. All right. Or on social media, using Capshow to create all these amazing images and clips and all this great copy. Include that focus CTA in those as well. That'll just compound our efforts. So that message is just locked in tight across our brand on the podcast, in our emails, and on social media for 3 weeks. That's really going to help. That's going to compound the efforts there a little bit. And then the second thing, I just want to be really, really clear. Minimize distracting people with any other CTAs during this 3-week campaign window. Don't be out there asking for ratings and reviews. Don't ask them to follow you on the gram. I mean, don't sell any other offers. Don't try to get them on your email list. No lead magnets, no nothing. Focus on the single call to action for this 3-week window. It will really pay off. I know it's hard because that FOMO, oh, but what if the ideal person that would love to follow me on Instagram, they're listening to that episode, and that's the only episode they ever listen to, and then I don't mention listening to me on Instagram, I lose that Instagram follower. Okay. Well, do we want to get a follower on Instagram or do we want to make a sale for this offer? Because right now we're focusing on getting people buying this offer. All right. So keep that in mind. Most people, if you do your job as a content creator, they'll be back for more. They'll listen to other episodes. They'll read other newsletters. They'll see other posts on social media, which you can mention a different CTA, but not during this 3-week window. That's super important. All right. So those are the 6 steps that I recommend taking to create a content campaign cycle so that you are no longer so sucky at converting podcast listeners into paying clients. And again, shout out to our friends at Cap Show. If you want to give Cap Show a try, head on over to their website and use the code ADAM. That's me, your buddy Adam, ADAM. That's going to save you 20% off your first 3 months. Love to have you give Cap Show a try and tell them that your buddy Adam sent you from this video. All right, Pod Pals, that is it for this episode. I'm going to send you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. I'll see you next time.